Hi everyone, extremely happy to be here with you, having wonderful sharing with you all. Happy evening to one and all. One day, when I met an elderly relative of mine, I was asked what I was doing. I replied instantly that I'm in ninth grade. Another common question was, what is your goal? It is always on the tip of my mind, and I told him I want to become a financial advisor. He was ready with another question. Can you tell me about yourself? Means, what kind of person you are? What are your strengths, weaknesses? How did you understand yourself? That question hit my mind like a vajrayuda. Few seconds, my mind got paralyzed. I searched every nook and corner of my mind for the answer after coming out of shock. No, I didn't get. How can I? I never saw myself closely. Analyzing myself never happened before. I spent all days analyzing others, finding good and bad of others. If I had spent 1% of time from the time I have spent on analyzing others, on the day I would have answered the question of my elderly relative. This is what happens in the lives of many in this world. If we were asked to judge others, 24 hours of time may not be sufficient. But when we attempt to say something about ourselves, 1 second looks like a whole day. We grow up in our mind which has no data of ourselves but full of others. What an unfortunate thing. I understood that first I should know myself, or else I can't achieve anything in my life. Dear friends, understanding yourself is more important than anything else in your life. Great men of this planet knew themselves first and did great deeds. Great deeds of great men are the outcomes of knowing themselves. I repeat it, great deeds of great men are the outcomes of knowing themselves. I have told you repeatedly, know yourself, understand yourself. But what is self? Self is a 4-letter word, but the depth of self has been found by only few men in this world. The depth of self, either ignored or attempts to find the depth, went in vain. Very few with strong determination touched the depth of self. Now, what is self? According to Cambridge Dictionary, set of someone's characteristics, personalities, abilities that make that person different from others and that are not physical. Dear friends, each one of you are different from each other's in personalities, abilities. Hardly you might have tried to know what you are. Knowing about your own inner character is understanding yourself. By the end of my presentation, every one of you will know how to understand yourself. I strongly presume that I can convince each one of you with my own experiences too later. Dear audience, I want to put few questions in front of you. Please answer yourself. No need to tell me. You might have come across many people in your life. You might have met some of them personally, or you might have heard about them. Now, it is your job to recollect them. Please close your eyes and keep hand on your heart. Who is your favorite honest person? Visualize that person in your mind. Who is the most helpful person? Visualize that person in your mind. Who can be a role model? Visualize that person in your mind. Who is the best person? Visualize that person in your mind. Thank you for recollecting people associated with the above qualities. Damn sure most of you have taken the names of others, but not yours. Are you not honest? Are you not helpful? Can't you be a role model? Aren't you the best person? You obviously have those qualities, but you aren't aware of them. You never tried to understand yourself. Please find your own best qualities. This is how you understand yourself. How wise you may be, if you don't understand yourself, your wisdom is like a barren land. In this context, I want to narrate a story of great poet and dramatist of India, Kalidasa, whose wisdom crowded his self and a woman made him know his self. During one of his travels, Kalidasa felt thirsty. He saw a woman drawing water from well. She agreed to give, but asked, "Who are you? Introduce yourself." Kalidasa thought this ordinary countryside woman not worthy of knowing who Kalidasa was. So he answered, "I am a traveler." Now, the lady replied, "In this world, there are only two travelers. The sun and the moon both rise and set and continuously travel the world." Then Kalidasa said, "All right, I am a guest." Now, the lady replied, "You can't be a guest. In this world, there are only two guests, wealth and youth. Both are temporary and hence can be called guests." Worried, Kalidasa said, "I am a tolerant person." Now, the lady replied, "In this world, there are only two things which truly know the meaning of tolerance. One is the earth, which tolerates how much ever you stamp, and the other is tree, which gives us fruits though we throw stones at." Surprised, Kalidasa said, "I am a stubborn person." Now, the lady gave a smile and said, "In this world, there are only two stubborn personalities, nails and hair. We keep cutting them, but they continue to grow." Kalidasa lost his patience and shouted, "I am a fool." Now, the lady gave a big smile and said, "In this world, there are only two kinds of fools. One is the king who doesn't know how to rule, and his minister who praises him unnecessarily." Kalidasa lost his patience and realized that he has been outsmarted and fell at the feet of the lady. When he stood, he saw she was goddess of wisdom, Saraswati. She said, "Kalidasa, you are the wisest of all, but you were not able to tell anything about yourself. If you start knowing about yourself, you'll start being a human. A person without knowing anything about himself or herself can't reach the pinnacle of being human." I repeat it, a person without knowing anything about himself or herself can't reach the pinnacle of being human. Let us all know ourselves first. Let me share an experience of mine. When I was studying my 7th grade, I was poor in maths. I scored only 50% of marks in the summative assessment. I felt very dejected, but later I have found my weaknesses. I practiced, took the help of teachers, and studied myself carefully. Now, maths is no longer tough for me. If I hadn't known my weaknesses and strengths, still I wouldn't be in a position to do well in maths. I appeal every one of you to know yourself and give meaning to your meaningful life. Thank you, one and all. Signing off, Madhumohan, Sirikonda.